I'm Renee.
David here.
And we want to ask David, how do you make an avoidant man love you?
Okay, so first and foremost, and this is really, really important, so pay attention. You want to understand the distinctions between an avoidant man and a man who's avoidantly attached, or a man who has avoidant attachment style. They're very different things. A man could be avoiding you for all sorts of reasons, right?
Yeah.
He may just not be interested. You may want to extract that commitment out of him, and he just may not be ready for that, or maybe interested in you enough to give that to you right now, so he may want to avoid you, as opposed to someone who's actually avoidantly attached, who has a, what you call a massive trauma to his neurological and psychological systems.
Yeah.
Avoidantly attached, or avoidant attachment, is pathological. It is trauma. It is a big problem here. It is not a style per se. It's repeated trauma from a very young age, and it has huge consequences to all their relationships for the rest of their life.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're truly with an avoidantly attached man, I would say just get out. Don't even bother. I am of the belief, and I am absolutely confident in saying that someone who is truly avoidantly attached, they don't have the capacity to love you or her or anyone. Not a pet, not a child, not their parents, nobody. So,
despite what it may look like on the surface through their behavior.
That's right. They may still, they still have relationships, but they just don't have that level of love or affection because they've lost the capacity to do so. Yeah. They may still buy you flowers because that's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
So they do a lot of masking, kind of like how some high-functioning autistic people mask their behaviors. Yeah. They do it as well.
Yeah.
However,
obviously different. Autism is not avoidant
no,
necessarily.
very different.
Yeah.
However, you're never going to have that relationship with them.
Yeah.
Okay? You may have a surface facade, but it's not a relationship.
A lot of people online are basically giving the impression that, oh, an avoidant is just a scared person who's just afraid of intimacy, but you can reach them. And I think with anxious avoidance, that's true. You can reach them. But with truly avoidance...
Yeah, there's no chance. There's no chance. And what I think a lot of people are actually confusing the difference between a man who's avoiding you, but he's securely attached, and someone who's truly avoidantly attached.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's a big distinction
Yeah.
here. You really have to understand.
Yeah.
A man who may be scared off a little bit, but still have an intact attachment system. They still want relationship. They still feel, they crave relationship. They love being connected. Those types of men, yeah, I think there's big hope, and I think you can definitely inspire a deeper sense of that commitment in that relationship. You just have to do the right things. Then in that case, what you want to focus on is number one, are you actually anxiously attached? Because if you're anxiously attached yourself, you see the world differently to how securely attached people see the world. You see more behaviors as avoidant than they actually are in real life. So for example, Renee's relatively anxiously attached for her entire life. She's healed a lot from that now.
Yeah.
But a lot of the early behaviors that I exhibited 20 years ago may have seemed like I pulled away, I was avoidant to some extent.
Yeah.
Even though I'm securely attached and I wasn't pulling away at all. I had things to do. I had like 3 different jobs at one point.
Yeah.
So
you're working very hard.
So it wasn't me avoiding you, but it may have seemed that way through the filter of anxious attachment.
Yeah.
So you have to know yourself first. And if you haven't done the quiz, if you haven't figured out your attachment style, we have a very specific quiz that you can do at reneeslinks.com. Go find the quiz. And the beauty of this quiz is that it doesn't give you a category, but rather a score on a sliding scale, because that's exactly how you should study attachment styles. So go do that quiz. It takes you 2 minutes max. Get it done so you get a score. Okay. So you have to understand yourself. If you have anxious attachment, you're going to see the whole world through a different lens to securely attach people.
Yeah.
So that's number one. And to obviously, what you need to do then, if you are anxiously attached, is learn how to cultivate secure attachment. Figure out how you go ahead and do that. I'm sure we've got other videos that can help you. We've got lots of articles that can help you. Again, go to Renee's links and we'll put you on the right path.
I have over 300 articles on attachment styles and some on healing anxious attachment, so that will be of value to you moving forward.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so number two. So if you're healing from anxious attachment, good. Now, here's something to understand. The reason why anxious people tend to avoid people who are overly anxious is because when you're anxious, you're trying to grasp onto value around you. And that is a very value extracting thing to do, especially when we're talking about a relationship, a new relationship, where you're just trying to get to know a stranger basically, and trying to build that relationship. If you keep clawing at it, trying to take value, then that relationship never builds. It's like a bank account that you keep extracting money out of.
Yeah.
That bank account never grows. Okay, so you're never allowing the relationship to grow when you keep taking money out.
Yeah.
Very, very important point. So the key mindset shift here is add value. Learn to add value. I know you get anxious. I know you get triggered. You just, you go, into your anxiety, but you have to start learning to add value. And as you add value, you start to feel better about yourself because you go, oh, I can influence this.
Yeah.
I have value to add. And people, we are all attracted to what is valuable. Yeah. We are all attracted to value. Every single one of us, men, women, doesn't matter. So as long as you're able to add value to the other person, they're going to like you more. They're going to like you more. It's end of story.
Love you more.
Yeah, even love you more. Exactly.
Yeah.
You'll get to that point. So learn to add value, and you have to understand what value truly is when it comes to dating, when it comes to men, when it comes to relationships, because it's usually not what you think it is. True value is not just about what you think is value, but what the other person thinks is value. Men and women have very different reproductive agendas. Very, very different. So what is value to men is often not value to women. So we have to find that common ground. And let me tell you, the common ground, especially at the early stages of a relationship, that common ground is that sense of playfulness. That is value. Because playfulness, as I always say, again and again, playfulness is the prerequisite for emotional attraction, emotional connection. And emotional attraction, emotional connection are the drivers of any commitment process and relationship process.
So if you want him to love you more and commit to you more, the key is focusing on the emotional attraction and the emotional connection. And if you have a lot of anxiety, if whenever you get close to a man or you're dating a man and you just can't get out of that, psychology calls it negative affect. So those of us who are anxiously attached get really bogged down in, the analogy I use in one of my other videos is it's like a dark cloud. There's always this dark cloud following you everywhere and you always just feel like there's something bad around the corner, okay? The way to start getting out of that is to become value adding, is to focus on the emotional attraction. And there's other ways to get out of it too. I talk about that in my other videos. You can go check them out by going to my channel. But adding value by focusing on emotional attraction helps so much because it kind of allows you to detach from, or just say bye-bye to that big dark cloud for a moment. It allows you to focus on the actual relationship. Because remember, in a relationship with a man, there is you. You're a separate entity. There is him. He's a separate entity. But then there is also the relationship, which is a third entity. And so if you're always bogged down in yourself, you don't not only add value to him, as in you don't only not add value to him, but you're not adding value to the relationship. So when you can just get the ball rolling with playfulness, with banter to lead to emotional attraction, you then start to see hope. Instead of the dark cloud, you then start to go to hope because it's like, oh, I'm developing a new skill. I'm developing the playful part of me that I never got the chance to develop because I grew up anxiously attached and all I saw was threats to my safety, to my emotional well-being, to all my relationships that I value so much deep down inside. Well, if you value your relationships so much and if you want connection so much, focus on the right things. Focus on the things that are actually going to be effective with a man, which is playfulness. That's what we recommend.
That's real value, by the way.
Yeah.
So when we look at value, there's a lot to understand about value. Like, for example, if you just met a man last week and he wants to borrow $2,000, is that value to him? Yeah, it is value to him. Money is value, a form of value. However, how does that compare to other forms of value? Okay, you have to understand true value. A couple of $1,000s, I mean, that's a finite amount. Whereas playfulness, that has an infinite capacity to be valued in the long run.
Yeah.
Long run. So they don't even compare.
Yeah.
Right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And of course, a man wanting $2,000, that's very, very value extracting. You have to be sensible enough to know that.
Yeah, you don't necessarily want to lend them.
It's not always a good thing, right? It's not always good to add that type of value.
No.
Because it's not, first of all, it's not necessarily appropriate, but also there's much greater value you can add than just giving him some money. Does that make sense? So I don't want people to go, okay, I can't be playful, so I might as well just give him some money. No, that's not the kind of value that I want you to add. Because money isn't valuable in a relationship. That's not what the value is in a growing relationship. Playfulness is.
I lent you money early on because your car broke down.
That's correct.
And when I say early on, I'm talking 6 months plus.
That's why I used the 2,000 number because my car broke down and it cost $2,300. I still remember to get it fixed.
Yeah.
Okay. And how long were we together by then?
At least 6 months.
Okay. So we were together for a little while.
Yeah.
Little while. But yeah, exactly. So and I was forever grateful for the fact that you lent me some money and to fix my car because I didn't have it at the time.
Yeah. So a lot of women get confused about the idea of value and they don't know how to cultivate a real relationship. And so it's easy to fall back on those ideas like, oh, well, he wants to borrow $2,000, so I'll just give him $2,000, right? Or he wants to try out this type of food, I'll take him to try out this type of food. That's not necessarily the value we're talking about. We are not excluding that as an action you could take at all. Ultimately, that is your choice and you have to stay attuned. We're just talking about the value that forms that bond of love and that leads to that love that you actually wish for.
Yeah, if you strip everything away and just look at two human beings, what is value in that relationship? It's only ever going to come down to emotional attraction, emotional connection. That is the value there. So whatever builds that is valuable for the relationship. What doesn't build it isn't actually value.
Yeah.
Money's not going to build it.
Yeah.
Okay, so just focus on that relationship entity and what is going to add value to that.
Yeah.
So unless and until you're able to cultivate a sense of emotional attraction, emotional connection in a relationship, then he's not really just going to love you. That has to be cultivated. It's something that grows.
Yeah.
And it's like a bank account. Think of it as a bank account. If you keep making deposits, it's going to grow. If you keep making withdrawals, it's going to die. Eventually, it's going to go into overdraft and the bank's going to shut your account. So think of it that way. So if you can add value consistently, the relationship is going to grow. And think of value in terms of what's going to make that relationship grow. Again, it comes down to playfulness. In fact, I have a free class. If you haven't attended my free high-value banter class, go do it because banter is how we express playfulness, especially in this day and age because everything is happening through text, through online mediums, and banter is the only way to express, to be playful with someone else. We don't have this sit-down interactions as much as we used to.
Yeah.
So we have to learn how to banter in intelligent ways that bring out the playfulness and as a result, bring out the playfulness in others. And yes, it is a skill that you can learn. It is a skill you can learn.
And I guess, a lot of women watching this may be like, oh, I'm so sick of me putting in effort. Why don't the men get some skills and put in the effort? We understand, but here's the thing. You developing that skill or using that high-value banter can actually help you at least try to bring out the best in a man. And if you can't, if he doesn't attune to you and respond to you and show his desire to emotionally connect with you, eliminate him.
Yeah,
the
move on.
fastest way to eliminate is to actually be bothered to do something, at least lead with value. Because if you sit there entitled and say everything should be up to the man, you're essentially being passive. You're being passive and you're sabotaging your own
That's right.
success. So.
Absolutely. Just lead with that value and weed them out quickly. Sometimes you have to weed out 99% of men before you find the right one. That's okay. That's normal. But you weed them out and you have fun doing it because you're adding playfulness to the interactions.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so that's how you make an avoidant man love you. You actually just have to add value. You have to add value. So if you haven't done the attachment styles quiz or done my free class, go ahead, go to reneeslinks.com or put a link somewhere in the description. Go to the link and find the right links. And make sure you watch this video as well because we're going to talk more about attachment styles and relationships.
All right, that's all from us. Hope you enjoyed the video and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.